Divine Feminines, I hope you guys are incredibly well. I'm going to dig into the Divine Masculines energy and just check in on them, okay? I feel like they're not at peace, or the message they want to communicate is that they haven't been at peace lately, and I'm picking up a lot of messages around them feeling isolated, and there's a lot of regret for letting you down, because with this feeling of being isolated away from everybody else, it's like they can't have a genuine conversation. They're going through the awakening, but I feel like they're going through it silently and painfully. And now is the time where many of them are, I think, feeling a lot of pain in their heart space, a lot of shock, because now things are starting to make sense. Now they're starting to see things clearly, see things differently. And one big thing I get for the Divine Masculine Collective is the reason they haven't been at peace is because there's so much regret over the way that they treated you, because before they didn't have this empathy, or they didn't have certain gifts of theirs come online until after connecting with you. And they're now starting to see ways that they sabotage the connection, how they let their perceptions of just women in general get in their mind. They let people influence them, their judgments, their opinions, especially on this relationship, this connection, on you, Divine Feminines. They're seeing how people around them don't actually have their best interest at heart, and that the connection between you two was actually a really genuine, beautiful friendship that was meant to assist them during this very phase that they're going through right now. So I feel them just sort of angry. I don't know why I'm getting this, but they could be breaking things because of that anger. I think they feel duped out of this connection, like they feel like other people sabotaged it, or that they allowed other people to sabotage it, because the kind of shit that they're going through right now, a simple conversation with you would alleviate so much of the confusion that they're feeling right now. Instead, they're isolated, having to deal with it on their own. I have a feeling many of them are getting confirmations, but it's like the validation is needed through conversation with you. Okay, so I'm going to see some of the things that are going on with them in the background that just kind of has them feeling a little bit uneasy lately, maybe feeling alone. Okay, so we do have single, and there's our isolation word. That's crazy to me. Okay, so they could be single right now, guys, or adjusting to single life, maybe even getting adjusted to a new city. I think in last night's reading, I did share many of your masculines are going to be tempted to come back home, or just be single on their own for a while, or be on their own for a while. So this is the feeling of isolated. They may just be trying to do life again by themselves, and I'm hearing getting to know themselves again, having to be independent without anybody in the way. And I also see that this is a route that they've chosen to isolate themselves away from either close family, friends. It could be a job in a new city that they're just eager to get into. Somebody's on a mission to become sovereign, or this new version of themselves. I think this is maybe the way that they're trying to fight off some of the isolation and just not being at peace, is just to get in there, chalk it up. You know, I feel like these walks, maybe they could be walking a lot, or wherever they've moved to, it's just easier to get around by foot. And I feel like that's no accident. A lot of the walking, and you see how this person has headphones on as well. Some of the things that they're doing to help ease the isolation and be at peace is like a lot of the knowledge, trying to understand this connection to you. I feel like now is when they're delving into inner child healing and trying to understand attachment styles. Now is when your Divine Masculine is going to be realizing, like, man, I was a little too close for comfort with, maybe the people in my family, or there were no boundaries there, or I shouldn't have allowed, maybe my parents to influence like who I date or who I choose. So this is all part of them, I think, coming into the realization that they themselves are on a journey of their own through this experience with you. And now is the time that they're realizing that they just need to embrace the separation and the time away from you. But they want you to know it's not easy. Like, they're not at peace right now because they don't know what the status is of your connection. They know that reaching out right now may be a bad idea because they themselves aren't ready, and that's what they don't want to bring to you, because they're in healing right now, or they're realizing certain ways about themselves, or exactly what might have held up this connection. Because I'm feeling a little bit of shame, embarrassment, like I really let you down. Like, I really was not an independent version of myself. I was so heavily influenced by people. I just wanted to do things that, it pleased other people, or I was too ashamed or embarrassed of how our connection looked in front of, X, Y, and Z, like who these people. And now it's like these people ended up betraying them anyway. These people ended up becoming distant from them anyway. Some kind of tower moment ended up happening anyway to make them squabble with these same people who voiced their opinion on something, or who, finally showed their true colors. And now I feel like I'm seeing nodding. So like, okay, I see. Like, when someone shakes their head and they're like, okay, I see what's going on here. So that is the energy I feel now for your divine masculines, is this cool down phase. Okay. It does say calm pause and solidification as well. So it's like this hermiting energy of them taking everything into account. The cool down, though, is the part that I guess feels like I'm hearing it's hard to stay calm. Your masculine could be a water sign as well. They could also be, I don't know why I'm getting this, but taking a lot of showers, or now that they're independent and living on their own, I feel like someone's getting a lot of comfort through, like, this is going to sound strange, but having to do housework. Like, if your masculine has to clean up after themselves, like, because I see someone in an apartment by themselves and they're not used to this. So I don't know if someone just went through like a separation, a divorce, but they're on their own. They're single now, or they're going through some kind of isolation. But I'm also hearing it's because of healing. Okay, they're returning to a place of calm. And I'm also hearing anger. Okay, this is maybe coming as a way for them to heal, or I'm hearing recuperate from a lot of that anger that they've been feeling. Because they do, guys, like, they feel alone. They feel like they effed up this journey with you for people who betrayed them in the end. That's how it's feeling. And it sucks, because it's like these are family and friends and people who they had a lot of loyalty with, and now they're isolated in their own community, right? Friends and family, people are just, going in their own directions. Everybody, what's strange as well, I feel like this isolation has to do with just people like moving away. Like, somebody's divine masculine also sabotaged this connection because they might have chose like a group of friends or this particular party lifestyle, and then everybody started growing up around them. Like, people just all of a sudden, because they chose to do that, their friends all of a sudden started, meeting their soulmates and getting married. Because I do feel somebody here feeling like, how did I mess up my life only to be left here as the one that's like single, not doing anything with myself? Like, all my friends around me now are married. Like, what happened to not getting married? Like, what happened to us not? And, maybe some friends may be looking at him like, yo, we were just being kids, man. Like, we were just joking. It's time to grow up. But I feel like somebody was actually stuck in that mindset of riding that wave well into, I don't know, well into their 70s. Oh my goodness, that would be crazy. But yeah, that's that feeling of just not being at peace. I'm hearing someone say, like, what did I do? Like, they really did mess up their life or their path, loss of control. Someone feels like they crashed their car. Maybe that's why they're having to walk on foot. Some of them could have recently gotten into a car accident. Something feels like one thing is going wrong after the next. And again, these days, I'm hearing, like, these days, they're really needing to exercise or stay in shape or just keep their head above the water, because somebody really needs to just calm down and be at peace on their own. Like, they're angry right now because they feel like outsiders ruin their relationship with you. But I feel like part of it is also having to take accountability for maybe being so naive and easily influenced. Many of them may have to work on forgiving themselves as well. We have reckless. They feel like they were reckless with who truly mattered to them. They could be thinking about you a lot, Divine Feminine, having a lot of flashbacks about like your relationship, the happy times, the good times, even the times where they betrayed you, they left you hanging. They appeared as like a different version of themselves that was maybe, more doubtful or hasty. And a lot of you would be like, whoa, where is this energy coming from? And it would be like, yeah, after a long conversation with mom and dad, always constantly maybe blocking this close friends to them, right? Telling them they shouldn't go in that direction. And I feel like a lot of your masculines had problems or issues hearing their own intuition. Okay, like listening, they know what their instincts were about you, divine feminines, and I feel like every time they got close, they would go back, share with other people what you guys would discuss as you guys got to know each other. Your bond would deepen, and little by little, they didn't know that everybody around them was just putting block after block after block on their happiness. Meanwhile, everybody was plotting their own path. Nobody was waiting for your divine masculines. That's the anger I'm feeling, is that they had some kind of pact here with their crew or something, that they were all going to be single forever. Right? Look at the single card here. And little by little, everybody just kind of started branching off, doing their own thing, being on their own. And now your divine masculines are out here really truly on their own as well, and they're having to watch everybody, like, you know, choose their decisions and make their decisions. I feel like even some of their friends, like, let's say for example their friends would have given them bad advice on the connection with you. You know, like, you don't want to date this person. Like, let's say for example, divine feminine, you guys had kids, or you weren't your masculine's culture, or, you know, they would have gotten bad advice only to have a friend of theirs end up with somebody who's not of the same culture. And they're looking at it like, what happened to, you know, all of the things we would say? Or do you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of energy. One of their friends might have been like, yo, I would never date a woman if she has kids. And then your divine masculine is like, me either. And then only to find out, you know, maybe one of their friends later on in life is definitely dating a woman who has children, and they're more than happy. And it's eating your masculine alive, because it's like they're the ones who didn't have the courage to just do whatever it is that was necessary for them to do what they had to do. Okay, that's what I'm getting, is like there was deep connection there. But people didn't like you two getting close like this, or deepening the bond between you two, because it meant happiness for the divine masculines. And it's a very hard lesson for them to swallow now that the people closest to them were actually the ones blocking this. Okay. What's in your masculine's heart space for you now? What's in his mind when he goes on these walks? Okay, so we have free yourself. I feel like he hopes that you know that he's freed himself. He hopes that you know that he's working on taking back control of his life, even if it means being isolated and single right now. He knows that he let you down by being trapped in certain circumstances. And I feel like the horn represents, it's like, man, despite the magic though, like despite the fact that you knew that you were receiving a blessing, you yourself were meant for greatness, you still chose to stay stuck. Okay, that's a hard pill for someone to swallow, which is why I feel like at times they really do lose control. That's why it's important for them to be single or on their own right now, because I feel like whoever this masculine is, the healing portion of their journey, now that they've moved themselves away from any toxic people, pattern, environments, yeah, the healing itself is just, they're having to do all kinds of things to cool down. Exercise, anger management classes, even therapy. They're having to learn about breathing techniques, how to manage their time, how to spend more time in nature. Like, this is the kind of knowledge that they're seeking now, because, yeah, it is getting the best of them with the isolation energy and just feeling alone. What do they want you to know, divine feminine? Okay, so we have chemistry, that there's a strong magnetic attraction there. And they'll never give up on you is another thing I'm hearing. Okay, so never give up, or I'll never give you up. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna make you cry. Yeah, now we're getting that energy. Okay, so this does speak of, you know, a lot of the deep regrets that they're feeling about letting you down. Okay, never gonna turn around and hurt you. I think he even says desert you in that song, because I feel like that's ideally what they did. And now that they're looking around at the people that they deserted you for, there's so much disappointment. I'm hearing with the chemistry card as well, it would have been a good thing. They would have had a good thing. That's what everybody didn't want, or was very cautious of, or... And I think too, like, the divine masculines were so naive. They never thought any that type of stuff was real, or people's thoughts or energy, or that people would have, you know, bad intentions towards you. Another message I'm getting about this regret about letting you down is that the loyalty, they chose to trust the wrong people. They chose to also join the bandwagon and point the finger at you, divine feminines, and maybe see you as the outsider in some way, only to be left with this feeling now of just longing to talk to you, longing to connect with you, longing to gain some kind of clarity about whether or not this will dissipate. Will it go away? How does it go away? How long will it take? Okay, this is someone who keeps their eye on you, and they're not going to take their eye off of you anytime soon, because I'm hearing just by looking at your picture brings them healing. Okay, painful some days, but other days it's like they just need a little bit of a dose of you, or a little bit of medicine there in their soul. Okay, let's get one more and we'll close off the reading. What else does the masculines want you to know from their heart space? Okay, so stay optimistic. Don't give up on me. Maybe that's that give up card, is stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. I feel like that's the mindset he's trying to keep and hold on to, is that somehow maybe if he goes on this journey of isolation and truly being with himself for a while, maybe that will get you to feel that balance in some way, or maybe the optimism or the positivity will return to the connection. Yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting. Someone goes to church also. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but someone lately has been going to church and talking about this connection. And I hear your divine masculine saying, this is what I should have done in the first place. All right, guys, so that's the quick check-in I have for you. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I will catch you guys a little bit later today, okay? All right, take care, guys. Bye.